Hello, everybody. I'm Will.
And I'm Kristen.
And this is So I'm Watching Stranger Things, Season 4, Part 2, Episode 8.
Chapter 8, Papa.
This was the penultimate episode to the penultimate season of Stranger Things, and it was very penultimate-y.
And also very 90 minutes-y.
Nothing really happened. It was a good episode. I enjoyed it. There was good character work, but not a ton, really, sort of.
I mean, it's a lot of piece moving, but like stuff happened.
I mean, Papa died, but didn't he already die?
They thought he died.
Okay.
Let's start in Russia.
Okay.
Okay. We're still in the prison. It's basically right where we left off with the Russia stuff.
The Russians were like autopsying a very live Demogorgon.
Yeah.
It was
still alive with its chest all open.
Crossed
way too many lines.
It crossed a line for me in a way that I like. It took me a minute to come back to the show. It was big District 9 energy for me.
That for sure. And it was also pinging a lot of eugenics stuff. And like, because like they were breeding them. There were a bunch in tubes.
I know they're monsters. It was, I don't appreciate that choice from the show.
It's that experimentation is the reason why they're chewing all of you so wetly. So I don't know what to tell
I got over it, but it took me a minute.
Yeah.
I was like, ugh.
No, it's really tough. So they're like, Hopper blessedly puts the one out of its misery and kills it. But the other one is like climbing, and they're like, hey, did you guys know they could climb? And I was like, they're interdimensional monsters. I'll bet they can do whatever.
I was like, don't they even have thumbs? I was like, I kind of figured.
And this one's so humanoid. Like, I just, whatever. So they end up getting out through, I guess, pulling a Shawshank and going out through the poop chute.
It's the technical term. What the Russians call it.
All of a sudden got in my head, though. Kate McKinnon skits from SNL.
With my burn shoot and my toot toot. Actually, those would both be. I don't know.
Regardless. So they make it out, and then they've got the Yuri guy with them still, which feels like a mistake.
I really liked him. I was rooting for Yuri, and then I really disliked him.
Yeah.
And I'm almost back liking him.
He's fallen
but
somewhere in the middle for me.
I don't know. It's Katinka. Is that her name?
Yeah.
His helicopter that may or may not fly.
It also absolutely won't fit all of them.
Which it seemed like they were going to bring that point up, and then they just never did. Like, because I'm like, are you taking just Joyce? Because that's the only way that I see this even remotely going.
Yeah, I mean, it's
also I can believe that what's that called? This whatever strait or
the Bering Strait.
Yeah, I can believe that maybe that helicopter could get from Russian land to American land.
Yeah,
I don't believe it can get to Hawkins, Indiana.
No, it's like, I think they just need to get somewhere in Alaska with another plane, but I don't even think it can make it to like the nearest Alaskan city.
I think it could, but
it depends also
we'll find out
where in the vastness of Russia, because also Russia doesn't go all the I guess on top it does go all the way over. I was like, China's in there too somewhere.
Because Sarah Palin can see Russia from her house, remember?
So basically that's where we leave them, is he has to tweak it, to tweak Katinka so that she'll actually fly, because she's a virgin, but the real Katinka is not.
No.
Whatever. Because he's named after his first lover. It's all a lot. So yeah, that's where we leave that. Everybody, all 5 of them made it out of the prison alive, and then all of the Russian officers got eaten wetly. So they stay using that caption. So
we've been having a lot of fun with the because we watch most TV with captions on, and the descriptive. It's been very, because it's a little bit more than closed caption. It's more, it's kind of like the descriptive audio or whatever.
A little, yeah.
Because there was another one that you liked. It was like
dire
foreboding synth or dire
synth music plays.
Intensifies. Yeah. It's mostly just the 3. It's Russia, it's the desert, and then it's Hawkins.
Yeah. So we'll go to the desert next.
My eyes still just sort of glaze over with that plot.
The boys are, whatever. They have Will has a very thinly veiled conversation with Mike about how much he means to 11 and how 11 would never be able to like keep going, and Will is the heart of the party, and like it's a very like Xander's the heart.
I like it in theory because it's very authentic.
Yeah.
The Will being the third wheel.
And also Jonathan seems to be clocking
in
it.
like an unwitting threesome.
Yeah.
You know, it's like there's something about the execution that isn't quite landing for me. But also you can hand wave that away with the cringiness of like this age group.
Sure.
Of this like in between. They're giving me 9th grade energy. I don't know if they are properly in high school at this point, but
they are freshmen.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Also, I think part of the reason that it doesn't totally hit the right way is because Mike is clueless.
Well, Will couldn't be laying it on thicker with the like he would
like,
look towards him and then look out the window.
He's also weeping by the end. Weeping. And we finally see the painting. It is
We were spared.
Not embarrassing. It is literally just a painting of their D&D party dressed up like knights fighting a 3-headed dragon.
It's a decent high school painting.
Love
You and
it.
Rachel, as he was like breaking it out, the two of you, it was like too many black holes. Like the energy in the room was like.
I was just like, no.
But yes, Jonathan was, it seems to be clocking it.
Yeah. I've been going back and forth with a couple of our friends on Twitter about this and the Mike and Will thing especially, and Mike and Elle also, and it's sort of like everything he was saying in that scene, he was kind of like, it wasn't about her as a person. Everything is related to her powers, and that is very frustrating because it's like, I want to root for these two as a couple, but it's like he isn't acknowledging her value as a
Everything
human.
that Will was saying?
Mike.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I was like, I feel the opposite.
No,
but okay.
Mike. I believe that Will and Elle love each other like a brother and sister 100% all the way, and that he knows what she's about as a person. But I think Mike has her on this pedestal because he met her as this like superhero.
Well, and not for nothing, she barely knows who she is as a person the
100%.
regular way.
Yeah.
Let alone the I'm magic and put into this like human thing way. So it's like 2 ways over. She doesn't know who she is.
100%. I'm interested to see where we land on this. Also, I just keep going back to the like, well, you can interpret it however you feel like. And I'm like, he's gay. He's gay for Mike. He's gay and he's gay for Mike. There's like not another way to interpret that. Do you have generally tearful conversations with your straight male friends about how much their girlfriends love them? I don't think so.
The culmination of this Papa Dr. Brenner plot is that he is obsessed with, it's Henry?
Yeah, one. Vecna.
Henry /1/Vecna. It's like he's the one that got away. And so he's like trying to recapture that lightning in a bottle. And he's been like on the DL trying to get Elle to
that level.
Either that level and possibly maybe find him.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing, it's like there's
an abuse of
100%. I mean,
resources.
It's an abuse of a lot of things. I mean, because he's gaslighting her so hard.
Like so much so that I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like because he's doing it with such force.
Yeah.
That I'm like, oh, it's working on me. Like,
I will say this is a masterful performance by Matthew Modine. I think he does this so well, and him and Millie going up against each other. It's spectacular watching really good actors really do a good job at something that you can tell they're putting their whole chest into. Like it's just remarkable. And so basically Elle passes this test. She like lifts up the Nina thing, the like with that's what they got the water in. But then Dr. Brenner's like, just kidding, you're not done yet. You've only unlocked part of it. There's still more that you need to keep training. And she's like, no, I need to leave. My friends are in like bad danger, because she goes mind walking to them again and she can see them. And Dr. Owens is like, cool, we're leaving. And it just goes south from there.
We still have him in play?
Yeah, I don't think he's been killed.
They locked him, Brenner locked him away.
Yeah.
And then Sullivan and the rest of the government showed up and did what they do. it played out the way that it plays out. I need to know if I'm the only person that was thrown by the door in the desert. I couldn't make it. Had we seen it already? And I just sort of...
I don't think we had seen it from that. I think we saw it from the side.
It was like a magic eye. I couldn't make my eyes see what was happening. And you guys were talking to me like I was an idiot. Like I was a handicapped dog. You guys were like talking to me about it. Because it just, I couldn't... It looked like an American Gods when... Because everyone knows this reference.
We say the Truman Show thing. It looked like the Truman Show thing.
It looked like a door into the sky.
Yeah.
And Will was like, that's the ground. And I'm like, I know that's the ground. Where does it go? Because then when they showed it again, I realized that like the door was smaller.
Yes.
It to me was looking like a door frame.
Oh,
and I was like, I couldn't make it work.
It's like concrete. It's like and so it's also longer. So it's like you walk through the door and you're immediately in an elevator and then you go down.
I need to know if I was alone in that because I was alone in that room. But
you were. I am sorry. There were 100 people in the room, and
not one of them believed in me.
0 of them were Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, they shot and killed Brenner, and he took her collar off and told her he was proud of her.
Yeah, I mean, like I like also for those joining us in the death count, there are apparently 5 confirmed deaths from the Duffers.
I don't like knowing that.
I don't like knowing it either.
It's taken me out.
Yeah.
Because I'm playing games. I wish I didn't know that.
Yeah. I wish they wouldn't have said, but that is checkmark 1.
That's more of a media thing for me because it's like they could have just said that, like they could have just said that in passing or something. Like I don't know that it was an official like press release.
Was
you know
it
what
like
I mean?
Mark Ruffalo about Infinity War where he's like, we're all dead now.
Wait till the next movie. Half of us die.
Don Cheadle
turns to liquid. No, I hate when the press picks things up like that and makes it everybody's problem.
I agree.
And it's like I would have had to have been reading that article in order to get that tidbit. 100%. Like I would have had to seek it out.
Yeah. So that is 1, though. We've got 1 down so far. So that means
was there not another one? I felt like there was 2.
In this one?
No, I guess not.
No, I mean none of those military guys count.
Yeah. But the spectacular, presumably real shot of her going full Charlize Theron Green Place in Mad Max.
Sure, yeah. That and also taking down the
That's what I mean.
Oh,
yeah.
Taking down the helicopter. It was incredible. And that guy was a terrible sniper. I'm not letting it go. It took him like
you're not.
It took him like 5 shots to get Matthew
That's
Milligan.
just such a trope. I don't even There was a really great homage that we feel was very intentionally Darth Vader, Star Wars, where Darth Vader comes into the starship.
Yeah. So and then the boys find her after she's done that, and they take her away. They're driving super fast, and she's like, we need to go to Hawkins like immediately. And Jonathan is like, this little pizza truck can only do so much, and it's like 2,000 miles. So they are presumably gonna do something to get there potentially faster. And then I guess we can go back to Hawkins.
That does take us to Hawkins.
Yeah.
We pick up where we left off with Nancy. She is being terrorized by /Henry/Vecna/Papa/Dr. Brenner.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's like Vecna inside Papa, but yeah.
But he was giving her, she called it visions.
He was like showing.
It was theatrics.
He was like showing her.
I was like, I don't think we've introduced time travel into.
No, but visions.
She was like visions of the future, though. It was
like what he intends to do in the future.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he wants her to tell Elle.
Yeah.
So he's coming for her.
Yep.
And then it was mostly them dealing with that. It was good. It was really fun and really entertaining. I really like this group.
Oh my God. There's so many of them. And like, even just like the simple act of throwing Erica in the mix.
I was literally going to say, I love with the teenagers or with the kids. We've got a lot of the kids. We've got a lot of the teenagers, and we've gotten the teenagers and kids, but throwing Erica in adds a third layer to it. That's a lot of.
Well, and especially because she was involved in all the Russian stuff in season 3, all the Scoops Ahoy stuff. She was there, her and Dustin and Steven.
And she hasn't overplayed her hand. She's the type, both the character and the actress and the whole thing. It's a trope that's a very strong flavor, and they're managing it.
Oh yeah.
Very
and
nicely.
I think Priya Ferguson is doing like a really good job too.
But their plan is I guess there needs to be 4 gates or open.
Yeah.
And we have the first 3.
Because Chrissy, Fred, and Patrick.
Okay.
Yeah, are the 3.
And they need a 4th one for him to, I guess he's just trying to merge the worlds, kind of.
Yeah, it's basically there's not going to be an upside down anymore. It's going to be all the same.
It's like a dam or something.
Yeah, because Dr. Brenner uses the, like, pencil.
And so Max volunteers to do it again because she thinks she can get out of it, knows how to get out of it. And they are going back to the place to kind of lure him out because they think that whenever he's doing what it is he does, it's like when Elle does the dream walking or whatever.
Yeah. So he'll be like
incapacitated,
vulnerable, essentially. Yeah.
And so they want to take it upon themselves to end this. Evil dies tonight.
Yeah.
But
in a nice way.
They steal a car, an RV, a camper. You were really into it.
My Buffy heart sings when people steal an RV and then go on a
lot of good character work. Lucas and Max character work. Lucas and Erica character work. Steve and Nancy character work. Steve and Robin character work.
Yeah.
Did you?
Bye, Steve. The writing's on
6
the
kids?
Fucking wall. Well, that's too. Yeah.
I know, but when he said 6, I was like, oof.
He's from Indiana.
The only 6 he's getting his feet under.
Yeah. You're right.
And Nancy was kind of like, ooh. And if this is going to be with her, where are those 6 kids coming from? She's got 2 in her tops.
She is this big.
I mean, this is not a hot take coming from me, not a unique take, but Nancy was MVP.
Yeah.
In this episode, she was doing a lot of the heavy lifting, and there was a very funny / terrible / triggering scene of them going to like the ammo store, and they were like giving it away.
Well, so they like pulled up to it because it's outside of town, and so they pulled up to it, and it was hopping. And me and Rachel, it took us till the end of the scene for me to be like,
Bert's Diner? Like,
it's because of like all of the murders that people are at this weapons store buying weapons. I just was like, is this normal? Is it normally this hopping on like a Tuesday afternoon?
There was this awful scene with Mason, or I guess, or
Jason.
Mason Dye is the actor's name. As I've stated, I like him in spite of the fact that he's played this character in everything I've seen him in.
He
was awful. I tried so hard. I tried so hard to be on his side or to see potential in him.
Did you try so hard and got so far? But in the end,
it didn't really matter.
It didn't really matter. He is just awful. He's also like he's pointing a gun at Nancy, like accidentally, and then he grabs the barrel of the shotgun she's holding, and then starts making threatening comments about whether or not Mike is around because he's in the Hellfire Club. And it's like, you trying to threaten Nancy Wheeler's little brother to her face?
Well, people don't know that she's like, packing heat. That she knows how to. This is not her. Don't fuck with me, fellas. This is not her first rodeo.
She will, like, cold-hearted rip your testicles right off your body. And I hope he finds that out. So it's terrible. He also sees her get into the RV and go away because he's there, and they're wearing their stupid fucking letter jackets like it means something.
Made in Hawkins, Indiana in 1886.
I mean, as from an adult perspective, it's meaningless. It doesn't mean anything.
Do you remember when you thought high school mattered?
I have 6 letters and I have my jacket still. It's meaningless.
I have a class ring and I was like, I would never.
No, I do too. I wore it for like a year. Yeah. But yeah, then they go to like
Robin saw Vicky.
Right. Kissing a boyfriend. But then they made eyes at each other.
Yeah. Robin's like, oh, I misread the situation. I was like, to say a 57th time, it's Hawkins, Indiana in 1980.
Yeah. Also, Steve is still on the fast times. Like, she returned that a week ago. If he's here, he's in college, and that means he's here on spring break, which means she was watching that movie alone.
It's number 32 on the Why Steve is amazing.
Yeah.
He is so invested in Robin and like her.
Yep.
I love it so much. And It was there. It was
definitely there.
Absolutely there. And you were right. She did look like Molly Ringwald
in that stupid hat and that fringe jacket. Yeah, just like Molly Ringwald from Pretty in Pink specifically.
And her boyfriend seemed terrible too.
He had a mullet.
Plus, he's in college, and it's like, I don't know.
They're seniors. I think.
I'm sure it's fine, but still, I don't like him, so I'm going to take any.
It's 1986.
I'm going to take what I can.
The lines are blurrier in 1986.
I miss Chrissy. I look down.
I know. She was so great.
Grace Van Dien is so pretty in her little.
She is. Yeah. We had a whole Justice for Barb thing. We can't get any justice for Chrissy.
It's out there. It's not quite as
as much.
Yeah. I don't think as many people identified with Chrissy.
Sure, that's fair.
Because Drixie and Katya are right. It was like the Barb. It's like everybody identifies with Barb. It was like even the Nancys think they're Barb.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, then they are all in a field, basically.
They had a training montage where you had a very, very astute observation that none of these people, because it's 1986.
None of these boys have seen the Lord of the Rings movies. It's all they want in the world.
And if they make it, if they survive it, they don't know, like, the joy on the horizon for them.
Yeah.
In like 17 years.
Like 35-year-old Eddie Munson is going to be having the time of his goddamn life.
But yeah, we got Nancy and Max had some
she was sawing off the shotgun, and Max was like, "Isn't this illegal?" And she just is like, "I'm pretty sure it's a felony." What do you have to do?
And yeah, some more bonding, and they were
the Lucas and Erica scene was great because she was like, "You're doing it wrong." They're like making spears with Bowie knives, and she was like, "You're doing it wrong." And then they had a nice little thing about how, like, no matter what, he's still her brother, and so she's gonna go to his basketball games and stuff. It was just really sweet. I really, really liked it because so often they're antagonistic with each other, and I like that they were like tight. Also, Robin has a bad feeling. She has a feeling that they're not gonna make it this time. Okay. She said it to Steve.
Okay.
And I don't like that. I'm not into it.
We lose Steve and Robin.
Oh God. Hey, your tongue.
So yeah,
you're right. It was peace movie. It wasn't like a ton of like actual stuff, but
it was necessary stuff.
It was really good, and
but it ended with them arriving at the house to journey to a very classic Journey song that I know and definitely did not think was Michael Bolton.
Okay,
or a new.
It was a new arrangement. The voice, I hear you on the voice sounding like Michael Bolton. Oh, and that was the other thing when Steve and Nancy were having their talk. It was playing Fire and Rain by James Taylor in the background. So it's like, write it harder on the wall, Duffer Brothers.
Also, the parents are out there still.
The Wheelers and
we didn't see them,
the
but
Sinclairs, and Dustin's mom.
They seemed like they were like there was a cavalry coming in.
Yeah,
so.
At the end of part one, right? Yeah. So yeah, it's separate ways.
Okay. Well, that was that, and we're gonna go watch the finale.
Yeah.
And
2.5 hours, the whole ass movie.
And we'll come back and let you know what we think.
Bye.